welcome back.
Yo.
This is Jesse the Stallion.
Hey, this is your boy Hater One Time.
Hater one time.
Yeah, wait,
Not-
turn them all in.
Okay. Okay. Well, obviously it's Thursday because we're back.
Yeah,
As
it is Thursday.
promised. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm okay. A little stressed, but I'm okay.
Yeah, it's almost over though.
It's almost over. Yeah, it'll get better. It'll get better. So today, how do we want to start this? So we decided, because we're working from home. I'm working from home indefinitely.
Yeah.
We decided that throughout the day we'll start. I just had an idea. Let's start some shows from the very beginning. And I decided I wanted to watch one of my favorite shows of all time, one of the best shows of all time, The Simpsons.
Yeah, man, ain't that the longest running animated show right now?
Yeah, it is. It is. So, and you can watch seasons from the first episode and they'll be just as relevant and funny as they are today.
So I'm gonna have to learn to do the barman again.
We're not doing that. So anyways, we decided to start that over, and season 1, episode 6, called Moaning Lisa, kind of just hit home. I don't know about you, but it kind of hit home for me.
Yeah, man.
So after watching it, I was like, we need to talk about that shit.
I felt bad for that poor baby.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just give like a quick recap of the episode because we don't want to give too much information out in case you want to go back and watch it. But how would you say, how would you start it off without giving out too much information?
I think the first part of it was when Lisa was like she was too sad to play dodgeball.
Yeah, she's playing dodgeball at school, and
she wasn't really dodging.
She was just standing there and just getting hit the fuck in the face. No. And the teacher's like, Lisa, why aren't you, playing dodgeball? And she's like, well, I'm too sad. So they end up sending a note home to Homer and Marge saying that she's too sad to play dodgeball. And, Homer's just like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're sad? You don't look sad. You're not crying. And she's just like, I'm sad. So
I think you can be sad without crying, right?
Yeah, if you're dealing with what Lisa was dealing with, yeah, you definitely can. It's a different type of sad.
She was a little stressed.
She was very stressed. And, she starts acting out in school and band, doing these, Beyonce solos when they're supposed to be doing, one band, one sound.
Hey, but she was killing it though.
I mean, she did it. And then like her band teacher, gets on to her about that, and she's just fucking depressed. So then Marge ends up trying to, she's like, my baby's sad. I need to give her some advice. So when she's taking her to band practice, she tells her, it doesn't matter how you feel inside, just push your real feelings down inside so you can fit in and be invited to parties. Boys will like you and life will be great.
That was the worst shit ever.
And I was so triggered when I heard that because Lisa's just sitting there and
even Lisa knew it. She was like, yo, I don't know about that.
I don't like that. But she was like, my mom is telling me to do this. Let me do this to make her happy.
Be right.
And she gets out the car. She's smiling really big. And these boys are, talking to her. And one boy's like, pretty much like, hey, you're cooler than I thought. Why don't you come over and do my homework?
Yo.
First of all.
Hey, he was like, hey, if you're going to be that cool, then you can come bring your ass on over here.
Like, what that brain do on my homework? So, and Marge was just like, wait a minute, that was the worst advice ever. And she snatches Lisa up and she tells her, she's like, you know what? If you want to be sad, be sad. I'll do the smiling for the both of us. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm a thug, but I cried. And I don't know if it's just because I've personally been through it and then come out on the other side of it that it's just like, I know what that's like.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, they kind of, when Marge was telling her just to, just push all that shit down and just bear with it and just smile and then everything gonna be okay. That shit just, I was like, don't do that, baby, like that.
Yeah, and so, and people that know us, know that we both will tell anyone that we suffer from depression. And after after watching that episode, I was like, yo, we got to talk about that. Like, I know it's a heavy subject, but we got to talk about that on the show this week. So here
Okay.
we are to talk about that. So first, what does depression look like? And it's funny because people just think of depression as, you know, someone who's just sad all the time, who, you know, hates the world, who
You just crying, you
wears
just locked yourself away. I mean,
yeah, black eyeliner and, you know, sitting in a corner wearing all black, and that's not the case. You know, there's some really famous people who are currently battling depression or who battled
openly
it in the
battling.
past. Yes. So like Jim Carrey, Ellen DeGeneres, Dolly Parton, Dolly, Janet Jackson, Miss Jackson if you're
Dang.
nasty.
But Dolly though?
Yeah. Taraji P. Henson, Wayne Brady, you know, and one of my favorites, may he rest in peace, Robin Williams. You know, they all suffer from depression. And one thing that, you know, you think about a lot of these people, they're very outspoken. You would think, you know, they're extroverts and they're always happy and they're always making other people happy. And that's not the case. So you it's not something that you can just pinpoint because, like Mars said, just smile and, you know, everybody will like you and you'll fit in and life will be great.
I think that's a learned behavior to just bear with it and just, if you just keep smiling and pushing through, everything gonna be sunshine and rainbows.
And that's definitely not it. So just, I don't know. I realized that I have been battling depression since I was probably about 11 or 12. And it's sad that it took like about 15 years later to realize that. But now I understand and I can actually pinpoint if I see some of the same signs in someone else. And you know, because I saw that in you know, and you didn't want to believe me, and I was like, no, I think you're depressed. And you know, some people take the term depression wrong, like they take it to mean you're crazy, or they take it to mean that you're literally just sad all the time.
I think that's the biggest fear when it comes to that for most people, is that feeling that you don't want people to think that you're crazy.
Exactly.
I think
especially
that was
in the Black community.
I think that was some of it for me too, was, you know, not wanting people to think that I've lost my shit.
Exactly. You need to get a straitjacket somewhere.
Also, with people thinking that I'm using it as an excuse to skate by on certain things, when that actually makes it harder for the person. Well, I guess I can only really just speak for me. Is that it makes it harder for you to accept it for yourself, to want to do better when you got people doubting you or making you feel like you just, you know, it's just another one of those things.
Exactly. And then another thing is, you know, some people, and this really grinds my gears, when people say that they're depressed, and it's like, oh man, they don't have any more white chocolate Reese's. I'm so depressed. Bitch, no, you're not. You're just fat and you didn't get what you want. You're upset. Your feelings may be hurt.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Your fat feelings may be hurt, but you're not depressed. Because the overutilization of that word kind of cheapens it. And then you have someone that says, no, bitch, I'm depressed. And like, okay, you'll be fine. No, like,
yeah,
I haven't been able to sleep. I don't have any energy.
I also think it's hard for some people to hear, because I feel like a lot of people, when you tell them something like that, they feel like they need to fix you.
Yeah.
You know, they need to tell you something to make you better then right in that moment, when in reality it's something a lot deeper than that.
Exactly. And depression is more common than you would think. You know what I mean? Depression doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, y'all, so quick disclaimer, we are not licensed therapy professionals.
Hell no.
So please take everything that we say with the smallest grain of salt. These are just our personal experiences, our personal opinions. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So there are different types of depression. You know, you could have a singular depressed episode, or you could have something that's like more long term. And you know, me personally, I have the more longer term depression.
Yeah.
And so it's more common than you think. Anybody could have it for any variety of reasons. It could be a singular event, such as a a close relative or a loved one passing. It could be, just overall feelings of worthlessness because of a series of events that have happened to you. So it's nothing to be taken lightly because it literally can happen to anyone.
I think for me, I think the biggest tell for me is one that a lot of people don't think about, and that's the anger aspect of it, or
Exactly.
being irritated at every
Acting
little
out.
thing. I think it's just overly just being irritated because I think for the longest, even before I started going to therapy, it was every single little thing pissed me off.
Hmm.
Like I can I can feel myself hyping myself up. That's what I call it when I just think about one thing and then how everything about it just pisses me off, and then every time I see that person or that thing, it just pisses me off. But
Yeah.
not understanding that, yo, dog, you probably depressed. Well, it's not probably, you are. And it
Gotta
wasn't
start.
until I
Yeah.
actually started going and then start digging into, me being upset all the time. And then
And what could be
now,
triggering you and
yeah, and now I can kind of tell where if I'm tripping, because I can kind of talk to myself and be like, I don't know, dog. I think you tripping on this one. And then it'd be times where I'd be like, no, dog, you got to dig in that ass because you right on
yeah.
this
No,
one.
this is warranted. Now you gotta get them.
But just understanding that a part of my personal depression is anger, like the whole.
Yeah, and I think it's important that I always say that I pay attention to people. I pay attention to people's energy, to people's vibes, and I can sense when that energy is off. And I feel like most people are so selfish that they don't pay attention to the smallest cues that people may be giving, whether they know it or not. As far as saying, "Hey, something's not right, something's up with me."
Yeah,
So just a few things to kind of look out for. And this is just me personally speaking, and you can attest to it, you can confirm or deny.
yeah,
But if you or someone has like feelings of like helplessness and hopelessness, you're losing interest in things that you usually cared about. Like you used to like going to play football every Saturday, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden you don't want to do it anymore.
yeah. I think
I
that was
I know for a fact that you like going to play football. So what is happening that you don't want to do that?
yeah. I did not want to see anybody, or anything that had to do with anything. Like,
Like you telling me you can go to the farmers market or the IKEA, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Wait, you say you don't want to go? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Appetite or weight changes, of course. If you're depressed, you could be eating a lot, or you just aren't eating at all. If you're having problems sleeping, insomnia is a big one.
see, that's one that I never thought could be something that would be part of depression. It's like insomnia. I just thought it was just
Yeah.
something like,
Well, your mind is like going crazy.
yeah,
So it can't, it's not shutting off. I don't know if that's the scientific portion of the insomnia. That's just my nigga logic.
you had to Google that.
Yeah, Google it.
Believe it, yeah, but I just never thought, I just thought, well, no, I'm just working these extra hours, or I'm just up, and I got extra stuff in my brain. I got homework. And then
Yeah,
that's not knowing that my brain is just overworking itself.
exactly. Which, when your brain is working hard, you need to try to protect your peace, find your peace, and get it.
Who knew?
Shout out to that episode of Jay and Hater about protecting your peace. If
And
you
if you
haven't
miss it, you
listened to
can
that,
always go back.
you can always go back. Another anger and irritability is another indication of hey, maybe you're a little depressed. If your tolerance level is low, if everybody is tap dancing on your last nerve.
Yeah.
My auntie says that a lot. I'm like, Auntie, is you depressed? Because you used to say that all the time.
Or when you wake up looking at Ice Cube, like you just mad all the damn time, like a little pit bull in the face.
See, or you clench your jaw in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. If another sign is like if you just don't have any energy, you just feel sluggish and just drained, like you have no energy to do just the smallest things.
Yeah, just thinking about getting up, brushing your teeth, taking a shower,
And
stuff like that.
Nah, I'll just be musty and crusty today.
Be like, man, I'm just not with it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think my worst episode, I was in bed. This was years ago, but I was in bed and just literally going from bed to bathroom, and for like 3 days. 3 days. Yeah. And it was terrible. I was listening to my Chemical Romance. I listened to all my little rock music and shit, and yeah, that was a bad time. And didn't nobody catch on that I was just not myself.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
yeah,
I think for me, I think my worst one where I just like balled up in the middle of a bed and just cried
yeah,
for like hours. And then just after that, all I could do was just lay in the bed and just I couldn't even watch TV. It was just I could listen to it. Like,
yeah.
shout out the first 48 hours
Oh my
because I can
god,
watch that in it rain, sleet, shower, all of that. I could do it. First 48 hours always be with me.
man! But it's it's crazy because I don't know about you, but when we have our little code word when we want to kind of let each other know, which I feel like we're already in tune with each other to know
Yeah,
when it's coming.
yeah, for
But
sure.
we'll be like, I feel like that dark cloud is coming.
Yeah, the cloud
That's what
coming.
we call it. So it's funny because you
I think sometimes you just know, especially I feel like if you know in yourself that the cloud is coming, as we
yeah,
call it, that if you're with somebody or if you don't know how rough it's going to be, to let somebody know. Let somebody
definitely
know that
communicate that
yeah,
because then you can kind of act accordingly. Now, granted, it may not be something that you can just fix. Sometimes the person may just need to get out a really good cry. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Let me just go in this room. Let me put on some Adele and let me just cry this out real quick and I'll be okay for a little bit. Nothing wrong with crying, men or women. I feel like sometimes you have to express that emotion out and it's either crying or beating somebody's ass. So
yeah. I think for me, a lot of it, I just want to be left alone.
yeah,
Just leave me alone. Just let
exactly.
me. Don't talk to me unless I say something to you, and
Exactly.
just let me work myself through it.
My thing is leave me alone, but damn it, I want you right here next to me. Like, don't say shit. Just be here to support me. And damn it, I'm gonna need you to bring me some cupcakes or something every now and then. But then
Yeah,
I'll be all right. But yeah, so I think definitely, in your relationships, in your close relationships, your partnerships, whatever the case may be, try to pay attention to, certain cues, and hey, they're usually this type of way, but now all of a sudden something's changed and something's different about them. I feel like the more we pay attention to each other, the more we can actually help each other because for the longest you couldn't even really
yeah.
all you could say was that you were sad, and it's not like you're regular, regular sad. Like,
And I think if you become self-aware and then you're around people who feel like they don't need therapy, but you know that they in some way could use it, I feel like be that person's shoulder,
yeah,
help guide that person, even though that they may not want to put in that work for themselves.
yeah.
you know it's I feel like if you know that you can help them, please do it. Please do it for sure.
I mean, do whatever you can for those of you that are employed, that are thankfully employed during this pandemic. If you have insurance, see if your job has like my job has like it's called EAP, Employee Assistance
Yeah,
Program, where they'll pair you up with a therapist, or you can request certain specifications requirements for a therapist, and you'll get like 3 free sessions. See if that's something your employer offers, because at least you can try out therapy. My thing is you don't have to tell anybody you're going, but
yeah.
I'm telling you, once you get to that good place, you're gonna want to shout it from the rooftops because you're gonna want to spread that good news, and people are gonna think you're crazy. But anyways, definitely seek help and figure out what's going on and how you can fix that, because depression is no joke. People are killing themselves every day over it.
But again, I mean, we all say this, but at the end of the day, we're not telling you, you know, hey nigga, you crazy. Go get some help. If you feel like you cool, please be cool. But if you feel like there may be a little room in your life to where you can kind of do some improvement.
Yeah, or even just if you feel your own personal dark cloud coming, try to think of some things that you can do to kind of prevent that. Like for example, I have to feel like I'm responsible for something. So my plants that are probably more depressed than me right now, I'll be like, okay, I have to at least get up and water the plants today. Or, if you have a pet, hey, I have to feed the dog today because, I mean, yeah, I can be in the bed feeling like I'm a piece of shit, but it's not the dog's fault. The dog has to eat. The dog has to go shit. So I need to get up and do this for the dog. So, or just even, what we like to do is just go sit on the patio.
Yeah.
So just do something calming. You may want to play your video games and
Yeah.
shoot up some people and be a Negro samurai.
Sometimes you just gotta chop up some people only on the video game.
Sometimes I put on my bald head ho shit playlist and I just very awkwardly twerk it out. And but you're never here when I do that because
you think I don't be paying attention.
You don't see this poor interpretation of a beautiful thing called twerking.
So what else you got for the good people?
So yeah, just that's kind of all we had as far as just the talk on depression. Definitely if you can try to seek out some help. And pay attention to your people. Check in on your folks sometimes.
Yeah, man. Look, if you ain't heard from somebody that you feel like that you real close to in a minute, hey, reach out to them. Hey, say what's up. Just see how they doing. See how they people doing, especially if you love them.
Especially if they cross your mind. Because now the older I get, the more I'm like, how random people just pop up in your mind, and I'll be like, you know what? You was on my mind the other day. I just wanted to call and say that's me.
Yeah, my daddy got
me
being
now.
like that for sure.
And usually whenever I have those conversations with those people, I end up feeling a whole lot better after it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can be just the quickest, hey, I'm just checking in to make sure you're okay. And sometimes, especially when I get those phone calls, they come at the most perfect moment.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, okay, well, who orchestrated this? Because I really felt like, yeah, I'm driving on the street, but what if I just didn't turn and kept going straight? Just weird thoughts like that. Then all of a sudden you get that phone call that just makes your day.
Yeah.
That was kind of dark real fast.
Reach out to your people.
Yeah. Reach out to your folks. But that's all that we have for this week. That was a pretty heavy topic. So
yeah. So when we coming back again?
We're gonna be back next Thursday.
Next week?
Next Thursday, and every Thursday after that, and the one after that, and the one after that.
Well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, y'all. Then shit, we're gonna get up out there then.
All right, you guys know how to reach us. If you want to email us with any questions, comments, concerns, email us at jandhate@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook and the Instagram.
Yeah.
That's all I have for tonight.
That's it. Hey, so y'all be easy.
And thank you for listening.
For sure.